Hello everyone, my name is Brazen Eagle and thank you for joining me here today. I want to start off this video by wishing you all a happy new year and a happy 2019. I have come up with a list of 7 events that will most likely happen this year. These are in no particular order, but let us get started. Number 7. The partial government shutdown of the United States of America will end. At the time of this recording, the federal government of the United States of America is partially shut down. This means that 800,000 non-essential government employees are currently furloughed, but this generally doesn't affect the average American worker. This came about from President Trump demanding funding for a border wall between the United States and Mexico. He asked for $5 billion, yet Congress refuses to give that money despite spending trillions of dollars on other items. Basically, congressmen and congresswomen who do not give President Trump a small $5 billion to him to support the American people are showing to be traitors to this country. And that's basically the situation at hand. A wall that President Trump wants will help keep out most of the illegal aliens from entering the country. I understand it won't stop every single one of the illegal foreigners from coming here, but it will greatly reduce the number coming in. However, I am unsure how long the government shutdown will last, but President Trump is determined to get funding for the wall no matter what, and no matter how long it will take. But we can be rest assured that this government shutdown will end in 2019. Number 6. We will see American soldiers leaving Syria in 2019. President Trump said in December of 2018 that we will pull all soldiers out of Syria and basically leave the country under Syrian control, of course with some Russian influence. Syria and Russia will make sure that ISIS will be defeated. Defeating ISIS was the main cause for the United States entering Syria. However, of course, the United States will still be in Iraq and Afghanistan despite leaving Syria. There are, like I said, a few remnants of the Islamic State still in Syria, but their holdings are very, very small and will be relatively easily quashed by the Syrians. Number 5. 2019 will see more protests and movements against governments across the world. I am mostly referring to the Yellow Vest movement that is going on in France right now, and the spillovers that are occurring in other nations, such as Belgium and Serbia. Now you may be asking yourself, Serbia? Why Serbia? Well, the mainstream media in the United States of America has literally not talked about the protesters in Serbia. Right now I'm talking about Serbia. Most of the American mainstream media is just refusing to address the issues in Serbia, which the people of Serbia want more open, more transparent government, because right now they have a pseudo-dictatorship there. If you're interested, go ahead and look up the protesters in Serbia that no one really wants to talk about. However, I'm also referring to other protests that will happen over the future of Europe and North America. For example, there were protests against immigration in Germany earlier in 2018 when a German was killed by 2 Muslim immigrants. This sparked protests against violent Muslim immigrants, and there has been a rising tension between the natives of Europe across the entire continent and Muslim immigrants, especially Muslim immigrants that refuse to assimilate. This type of event will continue to occur unless Muslims fully assimilate into European culture, which includes religious conversion to either Christianity or atheism. Number 4. We might see a Swedish civil war. Now this might come to a surprise for you, but for people like me who've been kind of looking into this, you can see tensions are very, very high in Sweden. Sweden itself has been touted as an open country for immigration. This country has also proclaimed itself to have a full feminist government, and that 58% of convicted rapists and 85% of all convicted assault rapists were born outside of Europe. That is an insane statistic. Over half of all convicted rapists, and these are convicted rapists, not the rapes that go unreported, but over half of all convicted rapists are born outside of Europe. And where are these men coming from? It's mostly men who are causing all the rapes. They're mostly coming from the Middle East and Africa. These men are literally making Sweden into the rape capital of Europe and potentially the world. These men are also not assimilating into Swedish culture, which you have to have happen. Sweden, in 2018, has already distributed a civil defense brochure to 4.7 million households, which warn the people about the onset of a coming war. Sweden has not literally been in a war, really, for at least like almost 100 years at this point, but in 2018, they're already distributing war pamphlets. It's kind of insane to think about. Sweden is also known as the grenade attack capital of Europe. Did you know that? The most grenade attacks that happen in Europe is in Sweden. Grenade attacks across the country have been rising, with 150 explosions occurring in 2015. That's insane! These are civilians! And of course, there were some grenade attacks happening in 2016, 2017, and 2018 as well. The media in Sweden has also been known to cover up the crimes of migrants, which include rape and murder. The media in Sweden is literally suppressing any sort of press about crimes that were caused by migrants, especially Muslim migrants. There are a ton of problems that are only going to get bigger in 2019, with the possibility of a civil war occurring. Number 3. Number 3 is a United States specific item. Americans will probably see Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg retire from the Supreme Court. She has had cancer already at least 3 times that continues to come back, and she is already 85 years old. She broke 3 ribs in November of 2018, and she is also known to support abortions, enforcing equality among the sexes when there is none. That has definitely helped contribute to the downfall of Western civilization. I hope she does not have any more medical injuries or fights with cancer, I really don't. But I hope she really does retire in 2019. If she does retire, President Trump will have the opportunity to pick his 3rd Supreme Court Justice during his term, which would be a great thing. Number 2. We will probably see an escalation of tensions in Donbass. Where's Donbass? Well, Donbass is located in eastern Ukraine and southwest Russia. We may see a war break out between these 2 countries. Since 2014, Russia has promoted reintegration of Ukrainian territories into Russian lands. Russia annexed the Crimea region in about 2014-2015, and then in this past November, Russia seized Ukrainian ships that were passing through the Kerch Strait, which is an illegal action. Since then, the Ukrainian president instituted martial law in the country and was preparing for a potential war against the Russian Bear. On December 26th, though, martial law ended, and I personally believe that Russia is clearly in the wrong. But tensions could quickly escalate, and both countries could be in a war in 2019. Now, if that does happen, it'll be interesting to see what the European nations will do to support the Ukraine, if any support is given. Seeing as if the Ukraine goes down without a fight or with a minimal fight, then what will stop Russia from taking over other countries? And my number 1. With number 1, it is that Brexit could actually occur. In 2016, the people of the United Kingdom narrowly voted to leave the EU. On Friday of March 29th of this year, 2019, the United Kingdom is scheduled to leave the European Union, but there could be delays or a cancellation. The United Kingdom could remain in the EU if it decided to change the law to stay in the organization or delay the exit of the United Kingdom from the EU. The move to leave the EU is a good sign that the British do not want to be ruled by bureaucrats from mainland Europe that have nothing in common with the British people. The British people, instead, want to forge their future with their own voice. Hopefully, though, Brexit will commence in this coming March, and if it does happen, we may see more states leave the EU. Maybe we will see the denigration of the EU completely. Who knows? This list is by no means everything that will happen. Some things I'm sure will occur, maybe some things won't occur. But these are what I believe will happen in 2019. We all know that there will be many other events that will happen in 2019 that people will definitely not see coming. I mean, I'm sure we'll unfortunately have more tragedies like school shootings, domestic, maybe foreign terrorist attacks, but we have to be realistic. 2019 is another stepping stone that will be furthering the decline of Western civilization. Either way, I hope you enjoyed my video. I'm Brazen Eagle, and I wish you a great and happy 2019. Thank you very much for watching.